Hello students, today we are going to study the famous poem Dust of Snow. The poem has been composed by Robert Frost, who is a nature poet. The poem is in the syllabus of class 10th, book First Flight. And here in this video, student will study the poem along with its explanation as well as figures of speech. But before starting the poem, let us look at the poet. The poet Robert Frost, he belongs to America and he has written mainly nature poetry. He has been the foremost nature poet of his time and his poetry depicts the human relations with nature. And as when we talk about the poem Dust of Snow, it has been penned by the poet Robert Frost and the poem has a very simple but a deep meaning. The meaning or the essence of the poem is that sometimes the things that are considered as very bad, having ill omen, that are not considered as lucky one, they can also bring happiness in the life of man. Everything that is related to nature has some significance, whether we consider that thing good or not, but that can change, that can bring a change in the life of human beings. So when we start the poem, the poet goes, "The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree." The poem has been composed in only 2 stanzas and the poet, who is in a very depressive mood. The poet Robert Frost, he is in the mood of depression. He is very sad and he has written that the manner, a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Here it is an imagery. There's a tree, that is hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a kind of poisonous plant. It is a poisonous plant and the poet is talking about USA, New England area of USA, and there due to the snowfall the tree is totally covered with the snow. Dust of snow, dust is the small particle and dust of snow are the small particles. When the dust settles on something, it falls down in the form of small particles and that is called dust of snow. So the poet says that he was sitting somewhere under a hemlock tree, or maybe he was going under the hemlock tree. So there was a crow who was sitting on in the tree, and by any moment of itself, he may be shifting, he may be flying, he may be sitting there. Some of the dusts of snow that fall on the poet himself. So the poet has taken 2 symbols from nature. The one is crow and the another one is hemlock tree. The students, to show his depression, to show his depressive mood, the poet has taken those symbols. Those are the symbols of depression. In literature, crow is not regarded as a good bird, and hemlock tree, that also represents death because that is a poisonous tree and poison refers to death. So the 2 objects that are not considered as lucky by the human beings, the poet has taken these 2 objects to represent his depressive mood. And he says that one day when he was in a very depressive mood, he was going through under the hemlock tree and the tree was totally covered with snow. And all of a sudden, some of the dust of snow, means some small particles of snow that fell down upon him, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. And when this happened, all of a sudden this happened, the heart of the poet that got a change of mood. All of a sudden, having company of nature, the poet felt the change of mood. His mood totally changed. Earlier he was in a very depressive mood, but now his mood changed to the happy one. And saved some part of a day. And this change saved some part of the day because most of the day he had already spent in depression. But some part of the day was remaining. And that part was saved. That day I had rued. Rued means to spend in sorrow. The poet was spending his day in sorrow or sadness. But because of this touch of nature, because of this touch of snow, his mood was totally changed. He became very happy and that's why the whole day was saved from being destroyed. He had already destroyed some part of the day, but now he became happy. So students, this was the poem. Here you have seen that through 2 stanzas only the poet has shown a change from the mood of depression to the mood of happiness. One day when he was going under hemlock tree, the hemlock tree that was totally covered with snow, all of a sudden because of the movement of a crow, some of the snow fall down on the poet and his mood was totally changed. Now he became happy, and because of this happiness, that day, the remaining day was saved. The day that he destroyed in sorrow. Because sometime when we feel sad, we destroy our whole day. And so his day was saved. So, when we talk about the figures of speech, first of all, we'll see the rhyme scheme, and the rhyme scheme is AB, AB. Crow, me, snow, tree. So AB, AB, that is the rhyme scheme of both the stanzas. And then there is the use of symbols. Symbols, the poet has taken two symbols of nature that show the depression. One is the crow and the another one is the hemlock tree. As I have already told you that these two symbols, they are not regarded, these two objects, they are not regarded as the good omen. Rather, they are regarded as the bad omen or bad luck. So the poet has represented those two symbols also, and there is the use of enjambment. Enjambment, now you have totally understood that enjambment is the continuity of one sentence into another line. For word meanings, we have only 2 or 3 word meanings like dust of snow, small particles of snow, and hemlock is a poisonous tree. And in the next stanza, there is the use of rhyme scheme, that is AB, AB, heart, mood, part, root. And then there is the use of alliteration. Saved, some. Alliteration, when the two nearby words, they begin with the same consonant sound, that is the alliteration. And then there's assonance also. Assonance, when 2 or 3 nearby words, they have the same consonant sound anywhere in the word. Not in the beginning, anywhere. That is consonance. The poet has used here consonance, saved, day, I had, rude. Day, had, and rude. Students, this is the use of consonants. In the written part, I have mentioned it as assonance, that is to be taken as consonance. And another, the use of enjambment is here. So, through this small poem, the poet has shown that every object of nature has some significance and some importance in the life of human being. Something that is not considered as good one, even that can change, that can bring a change in the life of human beings. And so the life is full of unexpected events and anything can happen at any time. And nature, that does not discriminate like human beings between good things and bad things. Every object of nature that is good and that brings some positive change in the life of human beings. So students, I hope you have totally understood the poem and you have enjoyed the poem. Now I would suggest you to go to through the poem once again, and once again enjoy the poem, once again understand the poem, and discuss the figures of speech. So by next we'll come with another video. Till then, keep learning, enjoy reading, enjoy literature. All the best. Thank you.